Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott. You're in the Prog Corner. You know where you are. And today, boys and girls, cats and kittens, I'm going to be talking about the great prog rock power trio MUSE. Yes, they are a prog rock band. I understand they have lots of different influences from, synth pop to, dubstep and, hard rock, but they are a prog rock band at their core. They were formed in 1994 when Matt Bellamy decided he wanted to try out for Dominic Howard's band. It was a band called Carnage Mayhem. Matt got the gig. They needed a bass player, so they contacted Chris Wolstenholme, who was a drummer, and he had to learn how to play bass to join the band. They changed their name to Gothic Plague at some point, and then later on they were Rocket Baby Dolls, but they settled on MUSE, and what a great name. Matt Bellamy loved the name. He thought it was nice and short, thought it would look good on posters. Kind of the same rationale Peter Banks had when he named Yes. Absolutely. They put out their first EP in 1998. They put out a second EP in 1999, and later on that same year, they did release their debut album. So today I am going to be ranking all 10 MUSE albums plus the soundtrack, Hullabaloo soundtrack, because one disc on that has all unreleased material. It's enough for an album, so I'm going to include it. But I'm starting right now, and I'm starting at number 10, and I'm going with the Simulation Theory from 2018. Yeah, it's the one with the bad album artwork that looks like Stranger Things. Yep, it's the same guy that did the Stranger Things artwork for Netflix, and a lot of the music here does kind of sound like an homage to the 80s at some point, with leaning into like synth pop a little bit more, but there are some good songs on here. The release on this album was a little convoluted because they kept dropping singles, and it's like, it felt like it was a year of singles from MUSE before the album came out. So by the time this album came out, I was a little tired of it already, but Propaganda, really, really good song. Algorithms, fantastic. Thought Contagion, I love it. The Void. This is a good album. If this is your worst album, you're doing pretty good at number 9. I'm going with 2002's Hullabaloo. Yeah, we talked about it just briefly. They call it a soundtrack. The first disc is all B-sides. The second disc is live material from their first 2 albums. But I am primarily looking at that first disc when doing my rankings. And these were like B-sides that, a lot of these songs really weren't as good as the songs on the first 2 albums. But I'm here to tell you, man, there's one song on here that my favorite MUSE song's on here. It's called Map of Your Head. It's just amazing. I love it at number 8. I'm going with The Second Law from 2012. This album hit number 1 in the UK, number 2 in the US. Like usual, they're singing about societal collapse and totalitarianism and political intrigue and governments lying to you and conspiracy theories, all the usual stuff that Matt Bellamy talks about. Apparently, this is a concept album. Some good songs on here. I really like Madness. Yeah, I understand it's not really a prog song. It's just a simple pop song, but I dig it. Yeah, it does sound like Prince a little bit. Survival was used for the London Olympics. Pretty good song. Panic Station's cool. Kind of an upbeat, dancey number. Follow Me's all right. But yeah, Second Law, not my favorite MUSE album, but there's some great, great moments on it at number 7. Let's talk about the debut album, Showbiz, from 1999. Yeah, apparently Matt Bellamy had like 50 or 60 songs ready to go. So when it came time to do their debut album, it was an embarrassment of riches. He had so many songs to choose from. They went with some really good tracks. Uno is fantastic. Cave is cool. Muscle Museum, which was their second EP. Sunburn, Unintended. This album was, this one and their second album were both produced by John Leckie, who had worked with Radiohead on the Bends. So, yeah, a lot of Radiohead comparisons with this band, particularly the debut album. It does kind of sound quite a bit like Radiohead, but that's all right. I like it at number 6. Let's go to 2015's Drones, the only album by MUSE that hit number 1, both in the US and the UK. This one was produced by Robert Mutt Lang, so it's got more of a rockin' feel. I guess they were going for like a return to basics on this record. It's a little harder edged, but no less political. It's called Drones, so clearly they're thinking about, the Obama administration's drone campaign here. Dead Inside, what a great song. Mercy, I really like. Revolt, Aftermath, Reapers. It's a heavy album. It's a hard album. You feel exhausted at the end of it because Matt's just spewing all this stuff, but it's a lot of fun. At number 5, let's go to the brand new one, Will of the People. Oh, yeah. Matt Bellamy called this like their greatest hits album. So every song kind of harkened back to an earlier era or an earlier song from the band. And does it work? Yeah, it works, man. It totally works. I really like it a lot. Some really great songs on here. Compliance is fantastic. Verona's got a real nice, relaxed kind of feel to it. You Make Me Feel Like It's Halloween. I shouldn't like that song. It's ridiculous and silly, but it's awesome. Won't Stand Down. Good record. It does kind of function like a greatest hits album. Absolutely. At number 4, let's go with The Resistance from 2009. Yeah, this hit number 1 in the UK, number 3 in the US. It actually garnered the band a Grammy, which is absolutely cool. Best rock album. Uprising. What a way to start an album, man. That song is just amazing. It's perfect. It's powerful. It's crunchy. I love it. Exogenesis is like a 3-part epic. It's like 13, 14 minutes long. MK Ultra. This is a good album, and this is kind of the album that solidified their place in America because they hadn't really done a whole lot here in the U.S., but their previous album did okay, and that's at number 3, and it's 2006 Black Holes and Revelations. Again, hit number 1 in the UK, hit number 9 in the U.S., and why not? When you start the album with Take a Bow and then go into Starlight, forget about it, man. I'm hooked right then and there. Unfortunately, the album loses a little bit of momentum. I love Super Massive Black Hole. Exopolitics is cool. But the second half of the album kind of feels a little tired, but then just when you think, oh, man, I don't think Muse has it anymore, they throw out Knights of Sidonia on you, and you're like, oh, yeah. Muse is back. Muse is awesome. I love them. At number 2, it's their third album, Absolution, from 2003. This one hit number 1 in the UK, hit 107 in the US. Yeah, this is where they decided that they were going to kind of shed some of the neoclassicisms from their last album. It's a little harder hitting. It's a little punchier. It's a better sounding album than my number 1. But overall, this is just fantastic. I mean, these songs are so good, man. Apocalypse Now, Time Is Running Out, Stockholm Syndrome, Hysteria. Hit after hit, just a fantastic album. I absolutely love it, and it's hard to believe there's one I like even better. And yeah, it is my number 1, and it is their second album, Origin of Symmetry, from 2001. John Leckie produced this thing, but just a fabulous record. It hit number 3 in the UK, but for some reason, it did not get released in the US right away. I guess there was problems with the American label, so it got shelved for a couple years, didn't get released, I think, in the US until like 03 or something like that, where it only managed to hit 161 on the Billboard charts. But who cares, man? This is the one. This is the Muse album for me right here, man. All the Rachmaninoff and the Mahler influences, but they don't go too far with it. They stay in the rock and roll vein. Just amazing. Newborn, I love that track. Bliss, incredible hyper music. Plug-in Baby, Megalomania, Citizen Erased, song after song. Everything's fantastic here. I love Muse, a fantastic band, and yeah, I do think they're prog. I know a lot of people have a problem with that, but get over it, man. You know, prog has a lot of different flavors. There's a lot of different ways prog can go, and whenever I see a band playing prog rock music in front of, tens of thousands of people, my hat goes off to you, Muse. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. Anyway, yeah. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. It was a holiday this week, so a little truncated, so I might not do anything until Sunday's amazing prog stream, which is going to be 5 underrated prog rock albums. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, guys, I'll see you then. I love you. Peace in the Middle East. Free Tibet, and God save the king. Save King Charles. Chucky. Yeah, my wife hates this part. She told me I need to stop doing this ending, but I'm not gonna. I'm not listening to her. I love her, but yeah, Chucky needs some saving too, man. That son gun needs your saving. Bring that son bitch to America. Yeah, we'll lay hands on him, and then we'll say some prayers and incantations. We'll do some, prayer warriors going to be doing their thing over him 24/7. And then you know what we're going to do? We're going to drink some poison. And then we're going to dance with them snakes. We're going to do the snake dance with snakes, and they're not going to bite us, and we're going to be healed, and everything's going to be all right. The House of Windsor will rise again, and England will never fail. I'll see you punks Sunday. Peace.